Mecca.
What's up, Sinuhena Sinut Eti then Ishakandugu Kemet. I want to check the sound because this time I'm not using my headset. So I want to verify that you can still hear me loud and clear. And all of a sudden I sweat. My internet connection is playing up. Shouldn't be long. What's going on now? It's always like that. What does it look like there? It's always like that. Yeah, it kind of sounds far away. What does it look like there? It's always like that. Yeah, it kind of sounds far away. What does it look like there? I'm going to put the headset. It's going to sound better with the headset. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. So I'll use this one. Like that. And then the headset. Okay. No. Let's Let me check how it sounds now. Looks like my screen is frozen. Oh no. It's not frozen. Hold on. Bear with me. Okay. 1 2 1 2. Microphone check. Okay, it sounds better now. That's okay. All right, brothers and sisters, it's really on you. It's really on you now. It's really on you to make this happen. I'm in a good mood because guess what? I had a class earlier. I'm always in a good mood when I see people progressing, improving with the Medunature. And I wanted to say what's up to the people. So, just like the title says, open discussion, question and answers, and free talk. From my experience, it takes a good 20 to 30 minutes for the people to come and get the notification. So I will be patient. For those who have subscribed to my channel, for those who have subscribed to my channel, you might as well try to hit the notification bell. It might make a difference. Let me know what's on your mind, brothers and sisters. I'll wait, I'll be patient.
Hotep, Introduction to Kemet, the missing link in Black history. I am Shakandugu Kemet. My goal is for you to learn and understand some information that you probably never came across before. For this reason, the beginning is going to be somehow meticulous because it's necessary. We are dealing with thousands of years of knowledge. We are going to deal with primary sources, originals. There's going to be name, dates, and places. So let's get right into it. Africa, Afuraka. I'm not going to waste time about the Middle East claim because it doesn't make sense. As you can see, I'm going to break down the word Kemet for you. That's a hieroglyph.
Hello, Jaige. Have you changed your avatar? Because there's a sister that had the username mentioning world traveler and kind of looks similar. The question is, what do you think of the world food shortage that is happening right now? I don't think much of it. I was quite surprised when they said that Ukraine and Russia account to like half of the exportation of oil, cooking oil in Europe. It really surprised me. So the price of energy is going up. Price of food is going up as well. Now, in Europe, there's no food shortage except for the cooking oil. They first said that the reason why there was shortage is because some people rushed and took some large quantities of oil, but it's been going on for like I don't know how many weeks. So if they really had the supply, they would have organized themselves accordingly. So we're kind of lucky that it's just some cooking oil that is missing because who knows how far this conflict can go. What else can I say? And we can see, of course, the gas price is going up. We can see how important it is not to rely on other nations. Sometimes you don't really have the choice. But the motherland, Africa, has everything and doesn't need any other continent to assist with natural resources. Unfortunately, those resources are not used to benefit the inhabitants of the continent. Where are you located? How is it where you are? I wasn't aware of food shortages. So, what kind of food stuff is missing? And everybody is free to chime in. Oh, listen. I'm not sure if I pronounced the name correctly, but uh, Jaigi wrote that she's in America in South Carolina, and there are small things like the food oil that I mentioned, and there have been multiple fire destructions to our food plants across the country. Oh, really? Okay. Distribution centers, rather. All right. Is it the first time you come during the live stream? For those who don't know, I have shared the invite link. So whoever wants to get on the panel directly, it will be more convenient. But you must show your face. If you don't want to show your face, then just use the chat. Makes me sleepy when it's slow like that. Oh yes, it's the first time. Okay. May I ask how you found out about this channel? Did you just see that I was live and you happened to hop in, or have you subscribed to my channel? And if you have subscribed, then how long ago have you subscribed, or how long ago you knew about my channel? Oh, Darius, it's been a while. What's up, Shaka? Long time, my friend. Yeah, it's been a while. Take advantage, brothers and sisters. Open discussion, question and answers, free talk. Take advantage. What's on your mind? We have Mr. Untouchable who wrote, very good conversation with Tahaka. I wish he allowed you to talk more. Oh, well, um, I went through the chat after the live stream. Luckily for me, there were not many messages, so it did not take me too long. And I did see that indeed it was stated, yeah, you know, I mean, it was just a discussion, it was not really a debate, so it's not like, there was timing and all that. But yeah, indeed, it was more like he was trying to give a lecture, but I like when it's spontaneous because he asked me if we wanted if you want if I wanted to ask him some questions before we started, and I told him, it's more fun when it's not scripted. And I didn't think we'll be talking about uh, the skin tone or skin complexion of people of the Levant and the Near East and so on. So no, but yeah, it was cordial. It was cool. But I'm quite surprised of what I've heard. Uh, I did see a few messages in the chat towards the end because that's when I thought about uh, having the chat appearing on my screen. Because baby girl here, she's sleeping now, but she's been quite some trouble, particularly in the beginning. And well, I was surprised to read someone writing that the Meadow Nature has been created by Jews, and then another one said that. Now that was in the comment, not in the chat, but in the comment of the video, someone wrote that Saddam Hussein had an afro. So I'm like, okay, uh, the Asiatic black man would never cease to amaze me. Now, keep the comments going, brothers and sisters. I will read them all now. Mr. Untouchable is asking, what is the difference between the voodoo practice in Benin and Haiti? Well, the language is not the same. In Haiti, they will use Haitian Creole. In Benin, they will use the different languages that they have over there. In both countries, they do a lot of syncretism. A lot of people will tell you that they are Catholic, but they practice voodoo at the same time. The huge difference is that in Benin, voodoo is like a state religion. It's like really accepted. In Haiti, hey, Smash Rockwell. Hey, what's up, man?
Peace, peace, peace. How you doing? Shotgun to go Kemet.
Oh,
It's been about 10, 12 years, huh?
yeah, yeah. Thanks for calling
Well,
in. Thanks for calling in, Sandy.
thanks for putting up a link and making it open for anyone. I know they probably can't see me. I'm just chilling in my basement right now. But
Mhm.
I just wanted to say to you that I didn't know where you were. For a couple years, I wondered where you were. I remember how we left our last discourse, and that's neither here nor there. That was a while ago. But when I started to think about all the brothers that I knew who knew the Medu Neter, a few times over the past 10 years you came up and I didn't know where you were. And so then when I seen the brothers bring you on, Brother Taharka Bay bring you on the other day, I immediately was like, oh, let me hurry up and try to make some contact with the brother before you got off of his show. So then I heard him call you my aunt forever. I didn't know you by that name.
Yeah, that's actually the name of my new channel because unfortunately, in 2016, my former channel, I even forgot the name was. Oh, it was Egypt Decoded.
Mhm.
It was canceled.
Oh, they
It
took it
says
down.
yes. Well, it was really due to some French Pan Africans, because I criticized some rapists and some pedophiles, and the Pan Africans they stick together, so they went on some flagging campaign, and the account was terminated. So I created a new account, and I just happened to choose that name.
Oh well, glad to see you back out here. I subscribed to you the other day, and I just was coming to say, it's all good. We definitely could build further on certain topics. Try if you can subscribe to my page because when I do have the time, I also discuss like the type of things you discuss. And so I
Yeah,
just was coming to say peace, let you know it was all good. Had
yeah,
to wish you well, Aunt Ujasa Neb, and all of the good
definitely.
things. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
thanks.
Stay strong. Keep
Yeah,
on teaching. And I'm watching. I'm in the crowd watching just to let you know. So
all
peace.
right. Thanks
Peace,
a
peace.
lot. Thanks a lot. Yes, yeah. It's nice, because like I alluded to when I was in Tahaka's channel, we kind of had a conversation on Facebook, and he was not the well, it wasn't drama, but we kind of left on a bad note, but that was years ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 10 years ago there was some trauma. There was a bit of trauma, because I disagreed with some Asiatic black men lessons, but that was then. But the brother, his account has been there for a long time. Some people had the luxury of not having accounts deleted. Um, so yeah, I'm glad that he came to say what's up. I actually let me subscribe to his channel now and keep the comments going, brothers and sisters. And as you have seen, whoever wants to get on the panel, you can just use the link. The link is pinned. It's at the top of the chat. Um, I wish the song was still there. To our raw. I don't know why the brother removed it. Smash Rockwell. His account is Smash Rockwell, by the way. Smash SMASH space ROCKWELL. All right. So let me go through the comments, brothers and sisters. Um. Oh yes. So see, I think one of the main differences are in Benin. Well, I guess in English you would pronounce it Benin, but in French we say Benin. Um, it's definitely accepted because in Haiti, I guess in remote areas it would be okay, but like in the capital and big cities, um, as much as the voodoo is practiced in Haiti, a lot of people don't see it as a good thing because they are Abrahamic, they are Christians, Catholic, Um, as a matter of fact, after the earthquake, some people attacked voodoo practitioners. Some voodoo practitioners have been killed. They were blamed for the earthquake. I'm like, come on. So yeah, that's what I would say, really. Now, uh, feel free to correct me on how to pronounce your name, sister. But Sister Jaigi wrote, I've been a subscriber since 2019. I took a course on Mesopotamia in college and saw one of your museum tours, which you show Black Persians. Oh no, not Black Persians. Now it's in the Louvre Museum, and that's the archers, and some of them indeed have like a brown skin, but I wouldn't say it's representative of the general population of Persia. The Persian Empire was large, and it's possible that they had people from different areas, just like today we have the U.S. Army, where you can find black people, you can find Asian people, you can find Caucasian people. So a lot of people are using these brown skin archers, and for the record, they're not just all brown skin. Some have white skin, some have brown skin, and the one who have brown skin, they happen to have blue eyes. So it's extremely rare to have black people with blue eyes. It's not. There's a few, but it's extremely rare. So yeah. But since you've taken a course on Mesopotamia, you've probably seen some artifacts of Mesopotamia. You are probably familiar. Well, since you subscribing to that, because you subscribed since 2019, you must have seen me many times mentioning the standard of war. And there's the video White Supremacy Black Awakening. But besides what I showed, since you've taken a course on Mesopotamia, you must have seen some artifacts. You must have seen their physical uh, appearance. Because once again, a lot of our people just don't have a clue about archaeology. They don't really go to museums, and they don't know that we have statues and we have paintings of people of the Levant, Mesopotamia, Sumer, and all that. So now, Mr. Untouchable is asking me what's my views on the dude called Kemi Seba. Not long ago, I made a video addressing him because he was acting like a fool. He was clowning Kemetic people, like mimicking some funny gesture and saying, the guys like Hotep, like, talking about, in Africa, the monthly wage is so low. I don't have time to say Hotep. And the other clowns, the other dudes are laughing like clowns, and they have, like dreadlocks, different kind of natural hairstyle. And little do they know that this dude has revealed in his book that he's a member of the Nation of Islam. But he lied to the people. He said that he turned to Orthodox Islam when on the law he was the Nation of Islam. And the Nation of Islam teaches that natural hair is a disease catcher and a disease carrier, And that punk was making fun of Kemetic people, and he was known because of Kemet. He still bears a Kemetic name to this day. So for those who don't know, when he started, every 2 years he changed movement. He had a movement where he was associated with neo-Nazis and skinheads. Just like the Pan-African in France associated themselves with neo-Nazis and skinheads. Now ultimately they got peed on, but what reward will you get when you betray the black cause? So he was financed by Iran at one point. He publicly stated that he supports the Church of Scientology. He's on tape saying that. So the reason why he has some following is because he converted to Islam, and he's changing movement every so often. He and yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say. And for the record, also on that video, not only was making fun of Kemet people, but he talked about, yeah, okay, all right, Sheikh and tidy up, all right, he did a good job, but we need to move, basically we need to move on and build and so on. But he said, oh, he loves the work of Sheikh and tidy up, but he's not stuck on that. Now that punk on the phone with me labeled Sheikh and tidy up as a gorilla, and that's what the title says. Alienate, how do you say it in English? Alienated, the alienated one who labeled Sheikh Diop a gorilla. I don't like the hypocrisy like that. And for the record, when his website was taken down and his movement was canceled, out loud in France, he criticized some black people, mainly people who were dealing with Kemet back then, elders at that. He put the picture of a monkey with the Star of David, and the dude asked me to publish that. And I told him, no, I'm not publishing that. Those are black people, So him labeling black people as monkeys and all that, it was something common. Him and his homies, they used to do that on message board, So if people are cool with teachings that says that Africans are living a jungle life and black means and Africans are not civilized and we are mocked, we are disfigured because we rebelled against God, and obedience is in it's the essence of beauty is in the obedience to God, and the essence of ugliness is in disobedience, therefore that we are ugly. You can listen to Farrakhan. As a matter of fact, for those who don't know, just for the record, if you're cool with those teachings, man, you can follow this guy. You know what I'm saying? You can follow him. 3 minutes only.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair, because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight, the hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you so busy frying it. That's why you're so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, with I'm black and I'm proud, we got to learn to be proud of kinks. Because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black. But they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight. Yes, sir. Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. And this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
Just bear with me. I'm about to change the thumbnail. It's good to catch up on people that are interacted with, like, years ago. Um, I think I will not have problem with accounts being deleted now. It's just a shame that it was what it was. I had several accounts that were terminated back then. So keep the comments going. I will just go through them. Why doesn't it show? Okay. Okay. Well, I will send it to myself. Sometimes you have to do acrobatics. Just bear with me. I have some time this evening. So I will touch this one. There it is. There it is. And for the record, also, regarding that dude, that French Pan African who wrote a book and admitted that he got back to his first love, which was the Nation of Islam. He started in the Nation of Islam. His father is a Freemason, by the way. He told me that face to face, not on the phone. So it's probably understandable why he had so many pass on over his activities. But he studied in the Nation of Islam. He got kicked out of the Nation of Islam, but he lied to the people. And on the early stage, he said that he left because he saw, the limitation. And then he met someone who was into Kemet, and he became Kemetic. And he said that the Abrahamic religions are not for us. And then he decided to reveal to the world that he converted to Islam. Some people who were close to him told me that he did that on purpose to attract our people, because a lot of our people are into Islam and the Abrahamic belief system and all that. So so once he converted to allegedly Orthodox Islam, he started dissing Kemetic people. And ultimately he revealed to the world that he was accepted back into his first love, which was the Nation of Islam. So some people hijack the movement like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I guess that's good enough about that dude. But he has a lot of groupies. He has a lot of groupies. As a matter of fact, since we're talking, there's a young lady. I mean, there's a white dude who's close to the neo-Nazis and skinheads in France. He's very good friend with the former head of the skinheads in France. A skinhead is a neo-Nazi, okay? And 10 years ago, most black people in France, particularly the Pan-Africans, they were licking the dude's boots, not to say he's behind. They are all on the, and that dude had a conversation with a black lady and he cussed her out. He cussed her out and he labeled black woman as, the B word, When that scandal was popping up in the news, him and other people were very timid and criticizing the white dude. That dude said, "Oh, if he said that, then we have to wait to see what the justice will say." And I mean, come on now. But when the white press, the white media, started talking about it, then he felt obligated to criticize his former white master. You know what I'm saying? So recently, this lady spoke out because she was harassed. She was threatened, and those people are trying to act like the lady had a relationship with the white dude, but she never had a relationship. The white dude wanted to be with her. She rejected him. And this dude here, this Pan-African NOR member, he kept saying that, oh, it was just a love affair, because he's a coward, But the funny thing is that what was revealed is a conversation he had with the girl. And he told the girl, okay, here was the text that you will publish, and I will help you. And basically, I'm paraphrasing, but the text said, well, I made a mistake. I should have listened to him. He is the only one who can take us further, who is able and capable. I mean, that's just ridiculous, man. That's just ridiculous. So when the lady went on the live stream like a couple of weeks ago, one of his groupie came in and he was just disastrous. And I will not do the translation from French into the English, but his groupies don't use their brain. Now, for example, one of his groupies said that Dianetics come from us, that he comes from Africa, basically, from black people. Another of his former groupies said that Prophet Muhammad had dreadlocks. I have the video, it's in French. Prophet Muhammad had dreadlocks. So you kind of have worse than the Moors who said that Saddam Hussein was melanated. Okay, let me move on now. Now, second. Darius is asking, I'm curious, Shaka, what is the earliest mention of Jesus? I really don't know what the earliest mention is. I really don't know. Now, is it Bill Manley? Bill Manley. I've quoted him. The video might be entitled, Yeshua, earliest mention of the name, or maybe Jesus, earliest mention of the name. And first he addresses a word, and he says this is the earliest mention of the name Jesus. And on the next page, or 2 pages later, he says this is possibly the earliest mention. So, like I said, I have reserves about that. I don't necessarily agree, but who knows? Now, besides that, maybe it will be. Maybe. Wait, bear with me. Maybe the earliest mention will be Paul. Because I read that the name Jesus is not mentioned in the Dead Sea Scrolls. And I don't think that Jewish people or Canaanites would have written about Jesus. So some people will say it is Flavius Josephus, but it happens to be a fraud, at least according to Bart Ehrman. So maybe it will be Paul, because Paul's writing predates the writings of the apostles. Now, the sister wrote that her name is Jazia, but she goes by Jage, if I pronounce it correctly. And she wrote that when she says black, personally, she means of darker complexion. And she's asking me, why do I think people are cautious of the word black? Well, it's the Moors. It's the Moors. Looks like she's waiting for me to talk, to cry. She really wants my attention. The Moors usually don't use the word black to refer to themselves or fellow black people. They have a big issue with that word. They love to say, well, there's no black person, like they would say, well, this is black. Nobody has that skin tone or skin color. But you can look in Kenya, you can look particularly in Sudan, you will have people with definitely dark skin. So they like to say, we are not black, we are brown. And they like to say all sorts of stuff. So it's on them. Now, the Moors, they are special. I will show you why. There's something called the Moorish 101 or Moorish questionnaire. And I'm sharing the link right now. So we're going to have a look at their teaching that they call science. So you can have an idea of their mindset. Moors love to say that they have the Moorish nationality, and there's no such thing, because on their passport it would say United States of America. There's no such thing as a Moorish nationality. At least in the US, is not recognized. Even, and I'm aware that some of them have, some sort of a card, identity card, registration card. But if there is such thing as a Moorish nationality, then I'm waiting for someone in America to show me a passport that says Moor or Moorish or whatever else in the nationality field. Someone actually lied and said that it says Moor in his nationality, in the nationality field of his passport, and then after that there was a flagging campaign, and I lost like 7,000 subscribers from 2 different channels. Now, you have something called the Seven Circle Quran, and Drew Ali just plagiarized the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ and another book. I forgot the title, the other book, but mainly he plagiarized from the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ. But the Moors love to say, "Oh, he did not plagiarize. He prepared the book, or he was divinely inspired." They will tell you all sorts of things, but it's just plagiarism. So, question number 1: who made you? Allah. Who is Allah? Allah is the Father of the universe. Can we see Him? No. Where is the nearest place where was the nearest place we can meet Him? In the heart. Who is Noble Drew Ali? He's Allah's prophet. You will notice that Drew Ali claimed to be Allah's prophet, just like Elijah Muhammad claimed to be Allah's prophet, just like, I forgot his name, but the guy who founded the Ahmadiyya movement in America, because some people don't know, but the the Islamic movement in America did not start with Fa Muhammad. Before that, you had the Ahmadiyya. And it's possible that Fa Muhammad might have been part of the Ahmadiyya movement. Now, there's this book that I did not finish yet, written by a PhD, called Finding W.D. Ford, and it's quite interesting. Now, well, it looks it's probably my daughter who played with the marker, the page marker, but it's okay. I have notes. There's some other book as well that I've quoted, So the funny thing is that the Ahmadiyya movement, it was some white dude, some Indian / Pakistani. The Nation of Islam, it was a white dude. As you know, Fa Muhammad. Now they claim he was biracial, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, when we look at him, he doesn't even look melanated, like they love to say. He doesn't look biracial. He doesn't look mixed race. And besides, they claim that Fa Muhammad's father was jet black. There's no way in the world, even the whitest woman on the planet Earth, that a jet black person will have a child looking like Fa Muhammad. So, So we are told that the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America is Drew Ali. Oh, I forgot to say, that's what I wanted to say. There's the video called Deception of Asiatic Black Men. As a matter of fact, I will share it now. There you will understand that those Asiatic black men movement derived from Freemasonry. There was some sort of competition back then. What is his nationality? That's Drew Ali. Moorish American. There's no such thing. What is your nationality? Moorish American. There's no such thing. That doesn't exist. It exists in their mind, but it's not factual. It's not legal. They love to deal with the law. It's not legal. So the Moorish Science Temple of America was founded for the uplifting of fallen humanity. What is your religion? Islamism. That's different. We know about Islam, but Islamism, don't know about that. Okay. Now the flag, the Moorish flag is a red flag with the five-pointed green star in the center. What do the 5 points represent? Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Now, you know the Nation of Islam, you have some letters around their flag, which is nothing but the Turkish flag, a variation of the Turkish flag. And you have those letters, and some of them stand for those words I have read. And besides, you heard that some Moors claim that the Turks are not melanated, but the fairs that they wear, that derives from Turkey. The Bey that they have in their names, many Moors have Bey in their name. You know, where do you think that comes from? But look at the video called Deception of Asiatic Black Men. You will get more insight. So what is the modern name for the Moabites? Moroccans. I'm looking for the place where it says that Jesus taught in India. There you go. Question number 43 of the Moorish 101 or Moorish questionnaire. At what age did Jesus begin to teach? At the age of 12. Where did he teach? India, Africa, and Europe. So, where does that come from? Is that documented? Is that documented, brothers and sisters? That Jesus taught in India, Africa, and Europe? So he taught for 18 years. If we make the calculation, I don't think it will give us 33 years, because people say that he died at 33, but you know, it's all good. Now, where is the Garden of Eden? In the land of Canaan, in the city of Mecca. So Mecca is in Canaan now. Canaan is Israel or Palestine, you know. But apparently, you know, the land of Canaan happens to be in the city of Mecca. All right. Who were Adam and Eve? They are the one who brought about a discord in the holy city of Mecca and were driven out. Where did they go? They went into Europe. So Adam and Eve were chased from Mecca and they went to Europe. Is that documented, brothers and sisters? I must have missed something, you know. I must have missed something. Where does that come from? Is there any scholars that talked about that? Adam and Eve went into Europe. All right. What is a modern name given to their children? Woman. What is the shade of their skin? Pale. So the children of Adam and Eve are pale. Some people will claim that Adam and Eve were black people. They like to say, Adam, it derives from that Hebrew word or Arabic word that means red, or that means dark, or some would say it means black. But that's just for the record. Who is guarding the holy city of Mecca to keep the unbelievers away? Angels. What is the modern name of these angels? Arabian. What is the shade of their skin? Olive. Are the Moorish Americans any relation to those angels? Yes. We all have the same father and mother. All right. So here you can see that as far as a Moor is concerned, if he's a follower of Drew Ali, Noble Drew Ali, then he considers that they are kinfolks to the Arabs. Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve. Lucifer, well, maybe it's a mistake on my part here. Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. All right. So if you consider yourself a descendant of Adam, well, here are some adjectives that you can use for yourself. It's funny that because he talks about people being, chased out, Shabazz was chased out allegedly, chased out from the, or actually moved out of the jungles of East Asia that we now call Africa, as Farrakhan said, as taught by Elijah Muhammad, as taught by Fahd Muhammad. And here we are told about people, being chasing away. And he is talking about the end of Satan. And the nation of Islam talks about the end of the rule of the white race. It was supposed to be in 1914, and then there was a little extension of about 10 years or so. And then, it never arrived, So just like Elijah Muhammad said, that you would never see a black president under the stripes and stars of the United States of America. And I'm paraphrasing, but he was basically talking about America. And we happen to have Barack Obama. And now, all of a sudden, some people say, well, Barack Obama is not black. He's biracial. Fahd Muhammad, for strange reason, is black. You see the double standard? So, Noble Drew Ali taught some wrong information, inaccurate information, just like Elijah Muhammad taught some wrong and inaccurate information, Some people have documented the fact that in some early version of one of the book, he talked about some stuff about Mars, life on Mars, something like that, But apparently they changed it in later editions. But I don't want to dwell into that. Some people might know what I'm talking about. Was Satan to be bound then? Satan was to be bound in part. When was the head of Satan taken off? 1453, Byzantine. You understand why when I ask if and I asked that on purpose, what are the Turkish melanated? One Moorish guy said no. Tahakabe said no. Because it would be problematic to label Turkish people as melanated, knowing that we're talking about the Byzantine or Christian, or Eastern Roman Empire, So they are all over the place, Now, name some of the marks that were put upon the Moors of Northwest by the beast in 1774. Negro, black, colored, and Ethiopia. In all reality, what is a Negro? A Negro is a 4-legged animal. What is meant by the word black? Black, according to science, means death. According to what science? What does the word colored mean? Colored means anything that has been painted, stained, varnished, or dyed. What does Ethiopia mean? Ethiopia means something divided. Can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? No. A man cannot be Ethiopian. I wonder what Ethiopians think about that. Why? Because man is made in the image and after the likeness of God, Allah. What title does Satan gives himself? God. Will you define the word white? White means purity, purity means God, and God means ruler of the land. You know. Now, furthermore, question 97, who made the devil? Elohim. So Elohim made the devil, which is not, not very surprising. Even with a Christian theology, it wouldn't be surprising. He's said to be a fallen angel. In Islam, it says that somewhere, I think in some hadith, I was told anyway, but someone said that, Allah instructed what we call shaitan to bow down or give some reverence to Adam, and he refused. Then he was kicked out. So that was a little rundown of the Asiatic black man theology. Mr. Untouchable is asking, is saying that was madness. I hope Farrakhan moved away from this nonsense. No, that's the doctrine, that's the theology, that's the ideology of the Nation of Islam. Nobody will move away from it. And when I say nobody, I mean the members of the Nation of Islam will not move away from this. They will defend this to the teeth. That's why I was attacked and slandered by Asiatic black men. And for the record, that video that I played, if I'm not mistaken, that was in 1992. And 20 years later, at the university, Farrakhan repeated that we didn't have kinky hair before. He didn't give the same rundown that we've heard. But it's just to show you that 20 years apart, it's the same ideology. As a matter of fact, for those who don't know, and I have the audio on my channel, you can type in Malcolm X for those who know how to search within a channel. You can hear Malcolm X talking about we didn't have kinky hair because that's a Nation of Islam teaching. But many people don't know about that. And you can find Elijah Muhammad alluded to this teaching in the Message to the Black Man and probably in Theology of Time as well. So that's their doctrine, Many people have criticized Farrakhan and say, oh, he's lost his mind. We never heard Malcolm saying stuff like that. Well, Malcolm didn't say the whole speech that we heard from Farrakhan, but Malcolm did believe in this doctrine and this ideology. But Malcolm knew better that you dwell and expound on that. So a lot of people criticize Farrakhan as if it was just a spin from Farrakhan, but that's the doctrine of the Nation of Islam. And besides what we heard, the 3 minutes that we heard that were in full context, because some people say, oh, it's taken out of context. Their supreme wisdom, their lessons that are called with different names, Muslim student enrollment, and so on, the NGE members, Nation of Gods and Earth, they like to call it 120. It says that Africans are living a jungle life. It says that Africans are not civilized. Now, I'm skipping the question about the lady who ran for the presidential election because, we have an input on that. Now, Mr. Untouchable wrote, in most religions, the writers had to have a creative imagination. So I'm not surprised at the origin story of the Moors. It's mainly a jailhouse religion. Brothers and sisters, there's a question that I've been asking for a long time. How far back can we find record of a black person calling himself a Moor or calling another black person a Moor? And when I say black, you know what I mean. I don't want to play the Moorish people's game, When I say black, I don't mean melanated. I don't mean Iraqis, like Saddam Hussein. I don't mean Arabs, like Osama bin Laden. I mean someone of black African descent. And the funny thing is that they claim, okay, we have people who are melanated, but what does it ultimately mean? Aren't melanated people of African descent? So it means that Osama bin Laden is of African descent and Saddam Hussein is of African descent? That's just a question. So feel free, brothers and sisters. Actually, I'm going to get myself something to drink. Now, if some of you have AIDS, or you heard of some people who have AIDS, the Nation of Islam's doctor, medical doctor, has a solution for us. Listen up.
What is in milk that is so good? It's not just calories, but there's antibodies, there are cytokines, there are all kinds of molecules that are in the milk that have healing properties. And now clinical trials have been done that has shown that you can actually cure AIDS with raw milk. When I read that, it blew my mind, and then I looked further. Why would milk be able to cure AIDS? Well, we came back from Kenya in 1991 with something called alpha interferon that cures AIDS. So when you look in the milk, guess what's in the milk? Alpha interferon. Not only alpha interferon, but beta interferon and gamma interferon. All the interferons are in there. Now, they said that if you really want to increase the potency of the milk, to increase its healing power, you let it sit at room temperature for 4 days after it's taken from the cow. You say, oh, that's spoiled. No, it's not spoiled. It's soured. Real milk, raw milk cannot spoil. It becomes fermented. They call it buttermilk. They call it yogurt. It's not spoiled. You're confusing it with pasteurized milk. You let pasteurized milk sit for 4 days. Yeah, it's spoiled, and if you drink it, it'll make you sick. But you drink that fermented milk, that soured milk, and the level of interferon and other health-promoting properties goes way up. I'm just trying to tell you something. Let me show you something where that is the latest development. Now this is, I'm in an experimental stage now, but this is a product that is made from milk. You said, there you go, you promoting yourself, brother, on the rostrum. Call it what you want. This has in it what are called infopeptides, which is just a component of the milk, especially the milk from a cow that is just given birth.
All right, whatever. So you've heard it. According to Nation of Islam's medical doctor, we can cure AIDS with raw milk. So you have the claim that AIDS can be cured with raw milk. You have the alliance with the Church of Scientology and the Dianetics program. And we have the different teachings, like Africans are living a jungle life. Africans are not civilized. Pharaoh said Allahu Akbar just before he died. Joseph instructed a donkey to carry Jesus to Egypt, and all sorts of different stuff, you know. That's the Asiatic black man way. And they call that supreme wisdom. They call that science, you know. And then some of them will have the nerve to say, oh, ghetto scholarship. You guys are doing ghetto scholarship. AIDS being cured with raw milk. Isn't that ghetto scholarship? Or is that science? Is that factual? If AIDS can be cured with raw milk, then how come we haven't heard people being cured of AIDS? I mean, if you can find raw milk everywhere, it's not like you have to come up with a vaccine. How come people don't criticize that? I'm asking a question to the brothers and sisters. Can we cure AIDS with raw milk? In your opinion? I'm waiting for your answers. Mr. Untouchable wrote, in most religion, oh no, I read that already. He added, there is a brother from South Africa, Credo, Mutwa, who suggested an AIDS cure in the 80s. I forgot the name of the plant he suggested. I mean, it's happening less now. But before, every month, you will hear, well, somebody came up with a cure for AIDS. And many times you will hear, in Africa, they found a cure for AIDS, but, they don't want us to know, or they kill him or whatever. I always heard that, I always heard that. Now, Dr. Sebi has transited, but he claimed that he could cure AIDS just like any other disease, And some people jumped on the bandwagon. And what can I say? Mr. Untouchable wrote, no AIDS cannot be cured by raw milk. It's ridiculous. Thank you for your answer. I'm glad at least I have. And there's a second brother also. Claiming raw milk cures AIDS just shows the danger of following people making random claims with no sources to back it up. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Thank you, Jage, if I pronounce it correctly. So we have 3 people who had the courage to say that they don't agree with that statement, And if we can't use truly, then that's 4. And we have a whole conscious community. And that conscious community will bring on all those people who have these doctrines, this ideology, and apparently it's all good in the hood. And then we wonder why we're not moving forward. Edwin Herbert was a racist. He was not Negro friendly. He was not Moorish friendly. He didn't like black people. But they still follow his teachings. Because Farrakhan was on tape saying that Nation of Islam members have to go through the Church of Scientology's program. For those who don't know, here's the proof.
Scientology to learn. That's right. Okay, they can hear. Yes, sir. They'll be able to hear it good through the region. Okay, then run the tape, please. I found something here. That I know we need, that would enable us to express the supreme wisdom that we already have, but it's like having a safe full of riches, but we lost the combination. So through Brother L. Ron Hubbard, we can open the wisdom that we have and execute that wisdom in a way that Scientology will be proud of us and we of them, but we are not a people that hide our light under a bushel basket. If we know that we gain something here, we're not the type of people that are ungrateful for what we receive that allows us to be better than what we are. I believe that Master Farad Muhammad knew that a meeting was going to take place like this. I don't know whether he met Brother L. Ron Hubbard, but I believe there was some contact. Scientists are like that. They meet in small little groups and they talk. And when they share with one another, they grasp little truths that they expand on. Yes. There's something here that belongs to us. And L. Ron Hubbard was a man we were destined to meet at the proper time. So when you mention, washing feet, I sat there with tears in my eyes because the greatest gift that I could give you was to give you that which would make you what you know you already are. You understand? Yes. And if you don't, think about what I'm saying. The greatest gift that you could receive after the supreme wisdom is the technology that will allow you to manifest it. And that technology is here. I discovered it, and I wanted you to see what I saw, hear what I heard, feel what I felt, so that you wouldn't be timid or afraid of knowledge that will help us to be ourselves. And so I invited you. And as I watched you relate to each other tonight, I said every believer in the nation needs what you experienced in this week. Nobody can lead in our nation until and unless they become clear. Are you with me? We have no school of theology. We just study the word and do the best we can, but the time is out for that. Everybody has to be qualified to have a position or post in the Nation of Islam. Master Farad said the Nation of Islam is all wise and does everything right and exact. Mistakes shall not exist in the nation. Meaning they'll be made, but you wipe them out by doing better. So I am grateful that you came. And now, as I see, my time is coming. Whatever that may mean to you. If I could leave you with a science and a technology that will open up the wisdom that you have quoted for years, but when you look at accomplishment, wisdom is known of its children. It's not what you say, it's what you can produce. So I hope, as Brother Shane had said, that this is not an end, this is a beginning, I pray, of a long and beautiful relationship. L. Ron Hubbard would be proud at this moment. And as I sat listening to you, I said we need to go back to Chicago and set up a training center where we can bring all those who would want to be a part of this mission into Chicago like they do at their Mecca in Florida, and teach them and train them and then send them out with qualifications to do the job of the resurrection of our people. Man, I got to go now, but I tell you, I hope that you all have a safe flight tomorrow. In fact, I think you'll be flying without a plane. Can't wait to get home to go to work. And I can't wait until everyone who wants to labor in this cause goes through what you just went through this week. And I'm just grateful to all. May Allah bless you.
Oh, okay, you heard it from the horse's mouth, the leader of the Nation of Islam. And that's a few years back. People have been very silent about that, you know. You have to wonder why. Jade wrote that she believes some of the things Dr. Sebi says. Darius wrote that he looked into Fard Muhammad and found that the Freedom of Information Act request to the FBI, after which they released his file. In that file, it shows that Wallace Dodd Fard, the government name of Fard Muhammad, was born Fred Dodd in Multnomah County, Oregon, and that Fred Dodd married and had a family, yet left them and moved to LA and started a new life as Wallace Dodd Ford. This is the name he used on his draft registration card in 1917. Wallace Dodd Ford got married again in LA and claimed his place of birth to be in Afghanistan. Anything that doesn't match with the Nation of Islam's narrative will be dismissed by NOI members. It appears that Fard Muhammad changed his name several times, that he changed his identity several times. So ultimately, we will never know for sure where he was from, what his nationality was, what his origin is in terms of his parents, what his place of birth was, and so on. Some people say that he was a member of the MSTA, the Moorish Science Temple of America. Some people say that he was a Turkish agent for the Nazis. People say all sorts of things about him. But the Nation of Islam's narrative is that Fard Muhammad's father is a descendant of the Quraysh tribe. That's the tribe of Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah. So Fard Muhammad's father is allegedly born in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia, but yet his name is Alfonso. His mother is said to be called Baby G. Now, you know, Dr. Back Down always trying to, you know, and he said that his life's goal is the academic vindication of the teaching of Elijah Muhammad. So it's not a scientific method. You know, you just basically telling the world, you know, my life's purpose is to vindicate the teaching of my leader. You know, you should not start with the conclusion and then try to look for the evidence of the conclusion. You know, you should look for the evidence first and then come to a conclusion. But anyway, it's all good. You know, so him being great linguistic acrobatics, is skilled with the linguistic gymnastics. He came up with this Indian term of endearment, you know, a word that can be used to refer to an auntie or an uncle, like Baba G, you know. So he said that probably, you know, they mispronounced or they misunderstood Baba G and they wrote Baby G. I'm like, okay, let's give you that. What about Alfonso? How is someone a descendant of the Quraysh tribe, the tribe of Prophet Muhammad, born in Arabia, and he's called Alfonso? They will be silent about that. You've heard Farrakhan said that after the Supreme Wisdom, the Dianetics program being cleared, this is the Church of Scientology jargon being cleared, and the whole program of the Dianetics is the greatest gift that he can give to his followers. A lot of people have said that the main reason why the Nation of Islam allied themselves with Church of Scientology is because they were paid. And you notice that Farrakhan called Edwin Hubbard brother more than once. So the negrophobic, anti-black Edwin Hubbard is a brother, but people like myself, because I don't agree with the Nation of Islam teaching, well, I'm everything that's bad under the sun. I was labeled an agent. I was labeled a mischief maker. I was slandered. My parents slandered, disrespected, insulted, and what have you. So, in the 1920 census, Wallace D. Fard claimed, Darius, don't you feel like coming on the panel? I'm going to do a lot of reading right now. In the 1920 census, Wallace D. Fard claimed he's from New Zealand on the census form. It seems that he was a person who changed identity several times to leave his families and start a new life. Fard was arrested for weapons charge in LA, and while in San Quentin prison, he met black prisoners who converted him to Islam. Well, that's probably from the... I did not read the FBI files, you know what I'm saying? This is according to the FBI. The FBI also interviewed his first wife from Oregon, and she identified Fard Muhammad as Fred Dodd. But like I said, anything that doesn't match with the Nation of Islam's narrative will be dismissed by NOI members, you know. Because ultimately, they don't deal with science, they deal with belief. My teacher says that, so it is so. To sum it up, as a summary, the person that I decided to follow said that, so I believe it is so. You know. Oh. Now, there's a video here that's very interesting. I'm going to share in the chat. It's called Get on Board the Wheel. Demonstrates that Fard Muhammad was from India. It took Wesley Muhammad like a few years to try to refute Paul Guthrie. I don't know why, but Paul Guthrie first removed his videos about Fard Muhammad. I don't know if he was threatened. And it looks like he removed his channel, because when I typed and looked for it, I couldn't find, but I'm going to try again. But before it was called Pearl Guthrie, and then I think he changed it to like Dharma Foundation, World Dharma Foundation, something like that. So filter, type channel. Oh, is it? No, it's there. It's there. Must have been a video that talked about World Dharma Foundation. The account was created in 2012. So there's a Twitter, there's an Instagram, there's a Facebook, but not a single video on YouTube. Nothing on Instagram. And on Facebook, I have to connect, so I feel like it. But anyway, I've shared the video in the chat. Once again, it demonstrates that Fard Muhammad came from India. All right. Feel free to take advantage. I have some time. Maybe go sleeping now. Open discussion, question and answers, free talk. Take advantage, brothers and sisters. Legally, you are allowed to say, I disagree with that. Someone says something strange to you, you have the right to say, I disagree. Even if it's a black person that tells you that. Because we have some gullible neophytes, when they get into the movement, to the struggle, they feel like anything a black person says or does must be defended. You should not have that mentality. You should not have that mentality because it will lead to destruction and chaos. Chaos is Isfet, which is the opposite of Ma'at. Ma'at is order. Darius wrote that he is cooking. He's sorry. He will have to leave soon to visit his. Oh, I'm sorry, your wife is in the hospital. Oh, you're having a baby girl. Congrats. That's beautiful. My daughter is way more stubborn than my son. Congrats. If your wife agrees, then you will be free to give her an African name, ancient African name. Why not in Medunecher? Satimen is short. It's daughter of Amen, the deity Amen. That's just an example. Brother wrote, wish me luck now. I'm going to have two bosses, my wife and her. That's lovely. If you have questions about the middle nature, brothers and sisters, then feel free. And if some of you want to learn it, then you know what's up. Darius wrote, Shaka, I'm trying so hard to get her to name her a name from our culture. She's fighting me tooth and nail on that. I do not want her to be named after Europeans. Well, you can do a compromise, you know. She can have two names, two first names. I think she would at least give you the second first name, you know. There needs to be some equality, you know. She's definitely insisting so much to have a European first name, then, you know, the second first name could be an African name. Mr. Untouchable wrote, I think black people liked Farrakhan because of his politics, not necessarily his faith, but the politics was just the candy to reel people in. Well, I don't know about politics, you know, he was not really in politics like that, you know. He was, to me, Farrakhan was never into politics, but I understand people can use the word politics to mean, you know, some sort of maneuvering and so on, but, you know. The sad thing with the NOI is that it has reached its peak during the leadership of Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad, it is said that he even had a plane. But under the leadership of Farrakhan, a lot of people have said that they kept, you know, losing property and money and so on. But to each his own, you know, to each his own. You know, they've been there for a while. They will remain there for a while. And I just don't agree with their teachings, you know. That's it. That's it. As a matter of fact, the NOI was not teaching that Prophet Muhammad was black. I've already shown Farrakhan on tape saying that Prophet Muhammad was white. You know, they never used to teach that he was black. Even Elijah Muhammad is on tape saying the prophet that was Muhammad was here 1400 years. Sorry, let me repeat. The Muhammad that was here 1400 years ago was a white man. You know, so traditionally, the nation of Islam has been teaching that Prophet Muhammad was white. Then came Wesley with his linguistic acrobatic self, and he tried to change the meaning of the word Abiyad. You know, and we have a fair bit of black people, and for the most part, they are black Muslims, whether it's Orthodox Islam or not. And now they're saying, well, so Prophet Muhammad was black. You know what I'm saying? The all black everything. Everybody was black. Should we cut it a day now, brothers and sisters? No, not much participation. If someone wants to learn the Medu Nature, I'm giving classes. It's been a few years. Mr. Untouchable wrote, the truth should have no color. Science doesn't have color. That's for sure. Now, as a people, if we want to progress, move forward, we have to agree on some conduct, on some mindset, and on some plans, some goals. And then we will just, do our thing. But when we talk about the so-called conscious community, we're all over the place. While people who say that we descend from Canaan and that we split and branched into several different tribes, you have other people who claim that we descend from Arabia or Asia. People who claim that we come from Mu and Lemuria and Atlantis. I mean, you have all those people, which are the Hebrew Israelites, the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Science Temple of America. We don't even really come from Africa. Now, the Nation of Islam will not dismiss altogether because Africa was the jungles of East Asia. And you heard Farrakhan say that. So they don't deny that we come from Africa, but Africa, as far as the Nation of Islam is concerned, was just the jungles of East Asia. Darius wrote, Shaka, how ironic is it that all these Islamic blacks claim Arabs to be black and the creator of the Anua was white man from Oregon? He wasn't even black, shaking my head. But once again, they would not accept that he was from Oregon. They would say, no, he was from Mecca. Because that's what Elijah said. That's what Fad told him. But when they say that Fad Muhammad is biracial, mixed race, that kills me. Some of you might have never seen Fad Muhammad. Have a glance. That's Fad Muhammad. You see, there's this video here. I think you can find it on Omar Shabazz channel. Yes, that's what it is. Going to share the link. And Omar Shabazz, who released a documentary called I forgot the name, the one about Malcolm X. Let me look for it. Most popular. Ambushed. The cowardly. I'm sorry, ambushed. The cowardly attack on Malcolm X. Very nice documentary. I didn't know there were so many attacks on Malcolm X's life. So Omar Shabazz spoke with yes, take care, have a great afternoon yourself also, Mr. Untouchable. He spoke with Muhammad Ali's ex-wife, and she explains that she had contact with Father Muhammad. And you know what? Let us listen to the video. I'm going to just share it. Share the link in the chat now. We're going to listen to that.
I arranged through talk show host Lance Shabazz to do a over-the-phone interview with the still stunningly beautiful former wife of Muhammad Ali, Kalela Ali. I happened to come across a photograph that I saw her in that blew my mind. I asked Sister Kalela several questions about the amazing photograph that displayed her presenting a birthday cake to a man she disclosed to me to be Master Farad Muhammad. Warning, the following segment of this documentary could blow your mind. Please have a psychiatric nurse on standby.
Brother Omar, you there?
Yes, I am.
Assalamu alaikum. You're on the phone with Sister Khalil Ali.
Oh, Sister Kalela, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Brother Omar. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right, sister. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks a lot. I am.
Well, I saw a recent picture of you, and you certainly look marvelous. You look great.
You might need glasses.
No, I got good vision.
Okay.
Hey, Sister, this brother's working on a project that he's working on Master Farad Muhammad, and I was sharing it with him the picture that you had shown me with Brother Abdullah, and I told him that you had said the messenger introduced you to him as Master Farad Muhammad, and the brother wanted to ask you some questions about that.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
I'm trying to work on a very small project about, Farad and the nation.
Yes, sir.
It's something I'm doing strictly on my own, but that was a very interesting picture.
Very interesting, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote down several questions. So whenever you want me to begin, you just let me know and I'll ask you.
Yeah, I've just been good right now.
Okay. All right, Sister Kalela, do you remember the actual date of that photograph? I can see, because I see you're very young in that photograph.
Yeah, the date would be, I would be guessing, would be, I was divorced from my at the time. So it was in my home. He stayed in my home.
All right. We'll move on. Maybe it'll come to you.
I was just thinking it'll be like 77.
Okay.
I think maybe we were divorced 78, 70, so it had to be in the 70s.
Okay, somewhere in the
late 70s, early 80s.
Now, in that picture, there's two women in back of you, in back of the man, And who is the man?
The man himself?
Yeah, the man that you are
His name is Muhammad Abdullah.
And now who is he supposed to be?
Well, he's Muhammad Abdullah.
Is he Farad Muhammad formally?
Well, I was introduced to him as that, but a lot of people don't believe it, but that's what I was introduced to him as. I can only go by what somebody tells me.
I understand.
And I only trusted one man, and that was Elijah Muhammad. So he said it, I believe it.
So Elijah Muhammad introduced you to this man?
Yes, sir.
And what was
I was introduced in his home with this man.
I'm sorry, I missed that. You were introduced in his home?
Yeah, I was introduced to him in Elijah Muhammad's home, not in my home.
Okay, so he was at Elijah Muhammad's home.
He was at his home.
And Elijah Muhammad said to you, "This is Master Farad Muhammad?"
That's what he said.
Now, what was your reaction when he told you that?
I was excited. I was elated, and I thought that was beautiful. But I wondered why his name was different when I saw him the second time. But I asked him why was it different. He said he changed it.
He changed it?
Yeah, he said he used his name then in America when he came here. That's what he used. And his real name was Muhammad Abdullah.
What was your former husband Muhammad Ali with you at the time?
No.
Okay.
I was divorced from Ali then.
Oh, I see. Now,
before when I met him, I wasn't even married to Ali.
You met him.
I was younger when I first met him.
When you first met Master Farad?
He just looked older. He just looked older.
So you met Master Farad on 2 occasions. When you were younger and sometime later.
Yeah, well, yeah, he adopted me as his granddaughter, so it wasn't like I met him a couple of times. I mean, he lived in my home. I went to his home, with his wife and his family.
So those women in back of him in that photograph, who are those women?
My daughter, Miriam, and my adopted daughter, Christine Gunasekara from Malaysia.
You said your daughter Miriam is in that photograph with you presenting?
Yeah, my firstborn, yes. Me and Muhammad Ali's firstborn. She's standing right over our grandfather.
Oh, I thought those were 2 women from India.
These are my daughters, man. They're the men from India. Those are my daughters.
So one of the women is your daughter, Miriam.
And the other one is the one I adopted and brought back from Malaysia. She was visiting me in Malaysia.
So I don't have the actual photograph in front of me right now.
Well, there was only 2 women that were pictures in the paper.
Okay, now. Okay, what about the cake? What's the occasion for the cake?
It was his birthday.
It was his birthday.
I made a cake.
You made that cake?
I made the cake.
Let me ask you.
Carrot. It was a carrot cake.
It was carrot cake?
Yep.
I hear that. The traditional Muslim carrot cake.
That's right.
I hear you.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever hear him speak several languages?
He speaks about 7 languages.
Did you actually hear him speak any other languages?
Of course, my dear brother.
Is there any, do you have more pictures other than that one picture? Any other photographs that you might be able to?
No, not with me. No.
No, not with you. Where would they be, sister? The photographs.
Well, these are the same pictures that was in my house. I didn't take a lot of pictures with him. I just never thought of taking a lot of pictures with him. I just took that one because it was his birthday. I don't have a whole lot of pictures. I don't even have a picture of me and Elijah Muhammad. I never thought to take any with him.
Now, what about?
I was too excited.
I understand. Now, what about? Did you speak to him on the phone several times, Farad?
Yeah, because he adopted me as his granddaughter when he first met me. He said, "This is one I'm going to adopt as my granddaughter." And he writes letters to me, and he'll say, "This is your grandfather," so and so and so.
Do you
He
still
would write letters.
do you still have those letters, Sister Kalila?
Yes, I have my letters. Yes.
What?
Yes, I have my letters.
Could we?
Wouldn't I?
Could I possibly see? Could I see one? Could you?
I don't have those with me, though, brother. I don't have that with me. Hold on for 1 minute. Hold on.
Wonder where she would have them if she doesn't have them with her. Where would they?
Probably in Florida.
Hello.
Oh yes, Sister Kalila.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting. That was my daughter.
Okay.
Calling me from Chicago.
I hear you. So you want to continue?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Now, did Master Farad speak with an accent? What was his dialect like? The sound of the tone of his voice.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He told me he was born in Karachi, Pakistan. So he had a Pakistani kind of accent. But he can speak his language is Voodoo, and he can speak Hindi, and he can speak a lot of other languages. But he has the Pakistani accent.
Like a lot of Pakistanis that's in this country now. We know how they sound.
Exactly.
Okay, because
that's the way he sounds.
Okay, the typical Indian type of.
Yeah. But sometimes he can speak. When he speaks English, he can speak as clear as we do. He can speak as clear without a dialect. He was very good. He was a master of all languages.
Now, what about?
He can speak. I've heard him speak just as clear as I do.
I hear that. Now, what about your former husband, Muhammad Ali? Did Muhammad Ali ever meet Master Farad Muhammad?
Not with me.
Not with you. Maybe through Elijah Muhammad on his own.
If he met him, I wouldn't know about it. Because I've never seen him with him.
Okay, I hear that.
Oh.
I wanted to ask you, Sister Kalila, can I use that photograph with you presenting the cake to your grandfather in the film that I'm trying to make? Can I use that photograph?
Sure you can. Why wouldn't you?
I have permission.
You're a man of history. Why wouldn't you? Of course, you got my permission.
And I would like to, put your name, under the photograph and describe that photograph in my little film that I'm working on. So, I would.
Mind.
You don't mind?
No.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's continue, sister. What ultimately happened to the man in the photograph as Farad Muhammad, also known as Muhammad Abdullah? What ultimately happened to him?
Well, he passed away. Passed away.
Did you go to the funeral?
No, I couldn't go at the time. I was out of the country.
Okay.
That happened. And I come back, and I find out when I come back it was an after fact.
Did you?
But I had letters from grandmother, his wife.
Apparently, the late Elijah Muhammad only let a few select people whom he could fully trust meet Master Farad Muhammad. The late boxing champion Muhammad Ali was another person who was in constant contact with Master Farad as early as his first fight with Sonny Liston. Ali spoke to Farad on the phone on a daily basis.
Great, I don't have a mark on my face, and I upset Sonny Liston, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest. I told the world, I talk to God every day. If God's with me, can't nobody be against me. I shook up the world. I told God, I know the real God. I talk to God every day. If God's with me, can't nobody be against me.
On October 21, 2013, the very popular game show Jeopardy, hosted by Alex Trebek, featured a category titled Into Thin Air that contestants responded to. The topic was about Master Farad and his Nation of Islam and Farad's disappearance.
Okay, we've heard enough. I've shared the link in the chat. Now, Claudia Barton wrote that he was probably her grandfather, but Muhammad Ali's ex-wife claimed that the one who was supposedly Fard Muhammad adopted her. Darius wrote that it cannot be Fard Muhammad in that picture if it was in the 70s. Fred Fard Muhammad was born circa 1877, but this is what they claim. I mean, if they claim that he was from the Quraysh tribe, that his father was born in Arabia, yet his father was called Alfonso. So, well, to take all this with a grain of salt. And Darius added that he would have been 100 years old there. That's highly unlikely and makes sense that he had a different name because that's not him. But that's your stance. But I think it could be possible because she said that she only trusted one man at the time, and that man was Elijah Muhammad. And Elijah Muhammad told her that. And amazingly, that man said that he was born in Karachi. And Karachi, if I'm mistaken, I think she added Pakistan. Pakistan at one point was part of India, and then there was a split. So this will match with what several people have written. This one I finished. Chameleon. The true story of W.D. Fard. But there's the other one. I don't know who that author is. He goes by some sort of username. But the other one was written by a PhD called John Andrew Morrow, who happens to be Muslim, by the way. As a matter of fact, I think he studied, did some Islamic studies. John Andrew Morrow received his PhD from the University of Toronto, where he studied Hispanic Native and Islamic Studies. There you have it. So, but I haven't finished that book yet. That one, I finished it. There's a lot of newspaper article there. But ultimately, India/Pakistan comes up quite often. And at the beginning of the video that I played, you see Lance Shabazz. Lance Shabazz made a very nice documentary. I don't know if it's still available. But Lance Shabazz, I think he addressed that. I forgot if it was him. Maybe it was Paul Guthrie. We have some writing from Fard Muhammad, and it's actually Urdu, not Arabic. Now, for those who don't know, Urdu, the language Urdu, which is quite close to Hindi, is written with the Arabic script, just like Farsi. The language of Iran, formerly known as Persia, is written with the Arabic script as well. So someone who's not familiar with that information can see some Arabic letters and believe that it's some Arabic writing, that the writing actually is the Arabic language. But no. The script can be used, but the language can be different. That book is very interesting because you have so many newspaper article. That guy really did some research. Anyway, I'll put this back somewhere here. So I guess we're gonna call it a day, brothers and sisters. It's been 2 hours and it's no longer popping in the comment section. Thank you for being there. Thank you for participating. It's been a long time. I did not really get to catch people with a sufficient amount of time. I was able to really chill and take my time. There was no rush. I didn't have to rush to go back to work as I usually do when I have a little bit of time and I'm deciding to live stream, and then I have to get back to work. But right now it's the weekend, so it was really good to hear from you. I'm happy that Smash Rock came to say what's up, and I hope that people who are not Abrahamic will link up and that we will be able to progress and that we will not have fence riders, so we can do our thing. We'll have the right to do our thing. You understand what I'm saying? Because never forget, brothers and sisters, that when you are not Abrahamic, when you are non-Abrahamic, you will face a lot of hatred, a lot of disdain. It comes with the territory. No matter what they say, they will pretend a lot of things, but many times they just don't like you. And when we listen to them, we can tell. In the conscious community, the people who are criticized the most are the Kemetic people. Why? Because Kemetic people, for the most part, a fair bit of them, let's say, because we have many Kemetic Muslims, Kemetic Christians, Kemetic Hebrews, which is an oxymoron, but there's a large number of Kemetic people who are not Abrahamic, who don't believe in the stories of the Abrahamic literature. So that alone causes Abrahamic believers to feel some type of way about Kemetic people. And Kemetic people are a threat to their finances because Kemetic people mainly deal with records, with facts. See? So they mainly deal with beliefs. So when we open the eyes of our people, they will ultimately realize, well, that sounds good, but it's not factual. I'm going to roll with something factual. And if they lose members, then they lose money. As simple as that. They have it on lock. It's a reality. So they have a disdain for Kemetic people because Kemetic people don't believe that their literature is the word of God, but also because it's a threat to their income. That's a reality. Some of these Abrahamic believers have realized that what they used to believe is not accurate, but they don't have the courage, they don't have the integrity of saying, well, I came to the conclusion that what I used to believe in is not factual. They'll rather try to reach and come up with some rationalization about why they keep on um, upholding those literature. And there's the financial reasons as well. Picture someone who has a mega church. Do you see him living this high income that he's been receiving just so that he can share facts or truth? It's difficult when you have a certain lifestyle to let that go. The Abrahamic believers, they really go for their belief. They support their belief. They share their belief. They apply their belief. They practice their belief. But the Kemetic people is something else. We can do better. So it was a new book. I thought I would receive it today. I was supposed to receive it yesterday. It might be very helpful, but I have some good stuff right here. So, of course, you have noticed that I've been live streaming a little bit, but for a short period of time when I was on lunch break. But besides that, this kind of live stream, like 2 hours, I will not really do it too often. But when you don't see me online, I'm definitely working, giving classes, and so on. And as you have seen, I started learning Hebrew. So I'm not sitting and doing my thing. I just wish I had support, really, because what I've been doing over the years, you don't have many people who do that. The Christians don't usually show you original artifacts about their religion. When it comes to the Bible, there's no originals anyway. But I've been showing original documents in many different countries from many different museums. It takes a lot of resources to do that. But unfortunately, our people don't put value in the Kemetic writing, even though we have monuments, papyrus, statues, full of writing. That's 1500 BC, 1800 BC, 2000 BC, 2200 BC. It's just a shame. But once again, if somebody comes and says, "Oh, what I'm saying? Well, actually, there's records of the Jews, blah, 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 blah. Records of the Jews in Kemet." For real, records of the Jews in Kemet. And it's always the same thing. Darius wrote, "As always, Shaka, thank you for the informative videos. I truly appreciate you, and you'll be hearing from me in the coming weeks regarding Mother Nature. I have so much to wrap up project-wise meanwhile. When the baby comes, I will have to take time off, and that's a perfect opportunity." Sure. Now, I'm not putting your sincerity in doubt, but I've been hearing that for years. Brothers and sisters, whenever you are ready, I'm there. You have my email address, and like I said, I think Saturday, 11 p.m. EST will be a good time for classes. So if you are interested with this time slot, let me know. If another time slot will be suitable to you, then just let me know. As long as I have enough people for a group, and we will do this, We will do this. Understand that it's twofold if you take the classes. You're learning the language that you can pass on to your loved ones and your children, and you're supporting me at the same time. See, most people who talk about ancient history, they're not necessarily working full time. They're making a living of what they do. And you don't have many of them who's been going to many different countries and showing you different artifacts and dealing with languages and history and so on. But it's all good. It's all good. So I don't want to sound like I'm begging. All right, brothers and sisters. Once again, thank you for being there. Some people have subscribed to my channel years ago and they are still there. I appreciate that. And some people leave comments. Others leave comments more regularly than some, but it's all good. To other people who put the thumbs up in the videos, I appreciate that. Thank you for that. It helps with the algorithm. People share the videos as well. Even if you don't learn the middle nature with me, then try to learn it with somebody else. The things that I have the most affordable prices. But we can really make progress. We can really, really make progress. We can do better than what we've been hearing over the years. And this evening, you had a demonstration of different claims. I mean, it's just weird. We can really do better. But no fence riding, brothers and sisters, please. I can't stand fence riders. I've been amongst too many fence riders, and I don't have any tolerance for fence riders. People don't need to pretend. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to pretend to be into Kemet. It's not for everybody. There's no obligation to be Kemetic. It depends of your sensitivity. You understand what I'm saying? It's a choice. It's not an obligation. I'd rather people don't get into Kemet and the meta nature and talking about Ma'at, and then they leave the stuff intact, unaffected, rather than them, claiming to be Kemetic, talking about Ma'at, and then poisoning stuff, diluting the stuff. And I've seen that happening for so many years. It's been very painful to watch. We wasted a lot of time. Stay safe, stay healthy, and if I'm allowed to, by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you, Hotel.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Nature classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Netia class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at for my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.